your honey trap is starting to feel like maybe you really never gave a fuck. This is a quick message from the universe. Chosen one. Yo, chosen one. You a cold piece of change, chosen one. You colder than 4 pennies. You colder than 25 nickels, chosen one. You's a cold piece of change. And I say this because your emotional cutoff game is, it rivals narcissism. Like, there's a thin line between the chosen one cutoff game and narcissism, just a little bit. I gotta be real with you, chosen one. You might be, but you're not though, cause we know you're highly empathetic. We know you, but when it comes down to you being on some cold cutoff shit, you get real, little narc vibes, chosen. But yo, you got your honey traps. They in their feelings. You got a couple 304s in their feelings. You got a couple narcs, mama boys in their feelings, man. You got a couple, I ain't gonna say that. There ain't nothing wrong with being a mama's boy. I'm a mama's boy, but you got a couple. I ain't gonna say babies neither, cause these niggas ain't babies. But you got a couple. You got a couple. What they queens, man queens in their feelings, man. Because chosen one, these people, these honey traps really thought that they had you in a loop, chosen. They thought that the way that they had you, you were never going to be able to officially walk away. See, chosen one, what they didn't realize is the moment that you realized that that shit was bullshit and you knew that they was effing off, right? You knew that they was dealing with others and shit, you cut that shit off. Emotional, you ain't care what the 304 did. You ain't care what the man queen did. After you found out that that was a honey trap and that they were being used by other individuals intimately or sexually, man, you cut that shit off. Emotional. You start looking at her like a joint off List Crawler. You start looking at her like a joint off one of the websites. You know what I'm saying? Tris. You ain't even take it serious no more, chosen. You was like, yo, I gotta finesse my way through this because you knew you needed this individual at the time, and that's the only tool. See, you were dumped into a situation, chosen one, where your only tool was your honey trap. And any extension of your honey trap became a tool. And it is what it is. It's not that you are narc. It's not that you're evil. You just had to maneuver your way through it, chosen. You had to make your way through that situation. But fast forward to now, chosen one, you a cold piece of change, man. You colder than a bag of pennies in Alaska, sitting in the goddamn parking lot at a motherfucking truck stop. That's how cold you is, nigga. So you gotta understand, chosen one. You got these narcs in their feelings. Now, how the fuck do you get narcs in their feelings, man? This is why I'm telling you, chosen one, you are really different for real. You gotta understand, you on a whole nother level when it comes to this shit, man. You could have been the coldest 304 on this side of the hemisphere. You could have been the coldest P, bro, for real. Because your cutoff game is so magnificently cold that when you cut a person off, they feel it in their soul. They feel like, see, your emotional cutoff game feels like somebody died. It feels like motherfuckers just went to a funeral. That's what it feels like. It feels like the narc or the honey trap feels like you died. Like you don't exist no more because that's how cold your cutoff game is. Chosen one, they thought that you was in a loop. They thought that you was never going to see past them. They are so upset that you don't get mad about their shenanigans. They are so pissed off that their worth to you is not really, they're not worth the energy. They're not worth the arguing. They're not worth the rebuttal. You don't get that to anybody, chosen one, and the honey trap damn sure can't get it. See, the thing about you is if you argue with a bitch, that means you really like that hoe. Excuse me. If you argue with a joint, that means you really like her, but you ain't doing too much with these honey traps, chosen one. But see, your chosen one, chosen one, man, you got them feeling some type of way because they're starting to say that you're fake, that you never care. It's not that you never cared, chosen one. It's as soon as you realize that it was foo-foo, you turned it off. See, the thing about you is that foo-foo shit gonna get turned off every time, chosen one. And now you got them feeling like, yo, who's playing the game, you or them? It's a cold world, chosen. And you showed that with your cutoff game.